Eltoro, we are moving into season previews. We've only got 2 left. We've done 14 season previews.
How about that?
Yeah, through just the first, 2.5 weeks of the show, 3 weeks of the show. The first one I want to talk about tonight is those Florida Gators. Now, you and I know we did a quarterback competition thing on them. We've talked about them some. We talked about John Sumrall and what happened with him at media days and the cell phone and all of that. But let's get on the field with the Florida Gators, because there's some stuff going on in addition to the quarterback situation. I think the biggest question mark, to me anyway, on this team is, can the offensive line perform? Because last year the offensive line did not perform well.
Right.
Coming out of spring, John Sumrall even said at his closing press conference after the spring scrimmage, said that we've got to get a lot better on the offensive line this summer, or we got no chance. Can the offensive line perform? Because you've got Jaden Baugh back there, who, with a bad offensive line last year, ran for 1,200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the offensive line better, man, it's gonna be something.
Without a question, Jay. And I think they're pretty good, like in the interior. But it's those tackles, Jay, is the question mark, man. I think they're having a lot of, pretty much competition this fall, trying to figure out, who can anchor that, those tackle position, man, because that's going to be a very, very vital part of the offense, man, especially, with the quarterback battle and things of that nature, man. But I'll tell you, one thing they got going for them, Jay, and you just called it, is the running game. They got the running game. They got the running back, you know what I mean? And I think that's going to be Florida identity on offense.
I think it has to be, Buster Faulkner comes over and he's done a multitude of things. People are most familiar with him because of Haynes King at Georgia Tech running the ball from the quarterback spot. But he's also lit people up for 400 yards passing too. Buster Faulkner can go any number of ways. He doesn't have a set offensive, lean. He can kind of adjust to his people. So I think that'll be interesting to watch what their identity becomes. You and I talked about the quarterback competition. You've got 2 guys who play the game a little bit differently. You got Tramell Jones Jr., who is very efficient, right? And probably plays the game a little bit like Julian Sayin at Ohio State, right? He's not afraid to take the check down. He's not going to throw into coverage very often. He's going to manage the game very well. But then you got the other kid who's a gunslinger who loves to throw it downfield, maybe even overestimates his own arm a little bit. So you got 2 different quarterbacks. I think whichever one emerges as the starter is going to dictate, maybe to a great degree, how Buster Faulkner calls this offense.
Without a question, man. And I think that guy's going to be Aaron Follow, man, just because of the familiarity he have, with the offense. I think it's going to be but I do think this now, Jay. I think the competition is still going to be going on, at least until week 3 when they play Auburn University. But I think Follow gets the call, man, and just see from there, man, and see if he's able to, make the check downs and not force anything, because I think those are the things that have been getting them in trouble. But I do think Aaron Follow would take the starting spot come week 1.
You're absolutely right. Those are the things that have gotten him in trouble with DJ Lagway, right? Because, I mean, we saw him, throwing 5 interceptions in a game last year, just forcing the ball where it didn't need to be forced. And I think if Philo can clean that up, if he can keep that playmaking mentality where he's looking for it,
but not forcing
it, right? I think that's going to be a big key for the Florida Gators this year. All right, so let's get to it. Floor and ceiling on the Gators. It's not the easiest schedule in the world. I want to run down the schedule real quick. It's not the easiest schedule in the world, but there's opportunities there. I mean, they open up Florida Atlantic and Campbell. That's 2 wins. You mentioned they go to Auburn. Then they host Ole Miss in week 4. They got Missouri and Columbia. They've got South Carolina. That's in Gainesville too. They got Texas, but they got to travel there. They got Georgia. That game's going to be in Atlanta. They get Oklahoma in Gainesville. Lexington. They go to Lexington for Kentucky. They go to Gainesville for Vanderbilt. And then they get Florida State. They got to go to Tallahassee for that. So some of the good teams that they're playing, teams like Oklahoma, right? I'm looking at that game, and I'm going, Ole Miss is in Gainesville. Oklahoma's in Gainesville. I don't care that they won 4 games last year. They also beat Texas in the Swamp. The
Mm,
Swamp is serious business, man.
absolutely. Absolutely. Man, Jay, I'm telling you, man, the key game is that Auburn University week 3. That's the key game for them, Jay. Because then they going into they can go into going into Oklahoma, Texas. I think Texas is the 6th game of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
6, 7, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well,
6, 7, as the kids like to
I
say.
mean, they beat
Yeah.
Auburn, Jay. They can pretty much go on this thing pretty much undefeated. I think they may have Ole Miss before Texas.
They did. Well, they have Ole Miss the week after they have Auburn.
Okay.
Which is it's also though the week after Ole Miss plays LSU. So it's a trap game.
That's a trap game. Absolutely, man. Auburn is big for Florida, Jay. Auburn is big for Florida, man.
If Florida goes to Auburn and loses, then I think this is a 7 or 8 win team.
Correct. I'm with you.
If they go to Auburn and win though, the ceiling goes maybe 9-10. You know what I mean?
Without a question.
Because that's not going to be an easy place for them to go win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely not.
I think Florida, like you said, win that Auburn game, and I'm buying stock in Florida, no question.
Absolutely.
What loss? I mean, I don't think the Auburn loss derails the season, but is there a loss in there that derails the season? Because when I look at it, I think if you go to Missouri, look, if you lost to Auburn and then Ole Miss comes to Gainesville and beats you in a competitive game, I'm not holding that too far against you. But if you lose 3 in a row, you lose to Missouri in that next one, the wheels could come off there. And now you're looking at 6-6 or 5-7, right?
That can't happen, Jay. That can't happen for the Gators at all.
They got to do it.
Oh, they got to do it. They have no room for error if they don't. Like if they lose to Auburn and then turn around and lose to Ole Miss, they have to go on a run, man. And because I think they have, who they have after Missouri.
Let me pull the schedule back up here. Let's see. After Missouri, they get South Carolina.
See, South Carolina.
Yeah. And that's before they go to Texas. So if you lose to Missouri, how are you going to beat South Carolina?
Yeah, that's right.
If you lose to Missouri and South Carolina in the situation we're talking about, you've lost 4 in a row.
Right.
And then you go to Texas. You're going to get your head handed to you, man.
Yeah. They'd be in a bad position, Jay, if that happens.
I think I don't expect it. I'm expecting Florida to be good this year, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. But I think Florida, to me, the floor on this team, if it just some things aren't working, and maybe the offensive line's not very good, maybe 6-6. But I think the ceiling is 10 wins.
Absolutely.
There are people watching right now going, this guy's out of his mind. I'm telling you, if they play at their best with those coordinators and the talent they have on the defensive front and the talent they have at wide receiver and the talent they have at running back, this could be a 10-win team when we look up at the end of the year.
I agree with you 100%, Jay.